Hey man, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Scott Travis, what's going on, brother?
Dude, you got some cool ass posters back there, man. That's
Well, thanks,
cool.
man. I appreciate it. Actually, here, I'll since I'm on the computer, I can kind of give you the workaround right here. So this is my workplace every day.
All right. Right on.
You know it, man. So a
Yeah. Yeah,
lifetime
we
of
got Beatles, Kiss.
all the good stuff, man. You know it. A lifetime of collecting all the things that my wife won't let me hang up in our bedroom.
That's right.
So
Good for
that's
you.
basically my studio. First off, Scott, thanks for joining me today. And second off, happy birthday, dude.
Thank you very much.
No problem. I hope you're doing something better than interviews all day after this.
Yeah, it's funny, right? So we scheduled these interviews last week, and I saw it was on my birthday, and I thought well, somebody's not following along, but I didn't want to cancel, so it's good for me. It's fun.
Well, thanks, man. We appreciate that. Are you doing something cool today?
No.
Just another day, huh?
Hey, dude, listen, honestly, every day is my birthday, because when you reach a certain age and you're healthy and you're just blessed in life, so every day's a birthday, man.
So first off, Scott, I'm going to break the ice real quick by saying, how does it feel to have created one of the most iconic drum intros of all time in Painkiller?
Well, thank you very much. It's certainly nothing I really ever expected. I do remember at a very young age. I mean, young as a young drummer, not like 6 or 7. But anyways,
Sure.
after you're playing drums for a while, you do. I did. Used to think to myself, man, it would be really cool is to have a signature intro, like everybody knows rock and roll by the Led Zeppelin poster I'm pointing out in your room there. Even something simple like Walk This Way, but it's so iconic, and it is Joey Kramer, and it is Aerosmith. So in the back of my mind, I guess it was something I'd always wished for, but until I joined Priest, and then we're actually in the studio in France, and we're working on the record or whatever, then it kind of happened. But for this many years later, to have people like yourself acknowledge it, it's a real honor. So thank you.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the intro for that song has had people getting in car crashes, air drumming on their steering wheel for years, man. Well, I
I
mean,
don't want to say I hope so, but it's good that they're into it.
exactly. Well, I mean, it worked out for you. 2022, Judas Priest finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. About freaking time, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you walk me through that night at the Hall of Fame? What is it like?
It's everything, of course, is happening really fast and it's kind of chaotic, go here, go here. You sit there and they tell you where to sit and things like that. But it was really, really cool, mainly because of all the other the musicians that are there, all
Mhm.
the people that were there from people like Lionel Richie and the Eurythmics and God, I'm gonna forget everybody. Annie, Annie West, Annie Lennox and Cheryl Crow and goodness gracious, I'll forget. I mean, just all those sort of like true musical icons. Dolly Parton, which she was there, obviously,
Yeah.
and performed. So that was really cool to be recognized by your peers or be able to even just share the stage with those sorts of legends was really, really very cool. And when I gave my little speech, it was even really just heart-wrenching because my mother passed away a few years ago. My brother,
Sorry to
same
hear
thing,
that.
and they were both huge fans of mine. And my mother was a Juilliard attendee. I'm not sure she actually graduated, but she went to school there and was a singer. So she would have just been over the moon to see somebody in the family up there accepting um, the rock and roll award. So it was a super cool evening. Yeah, it's something I'll never forget for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of legends, I mean, Alice Cooper inducting you guys. Do you just like give them a phone call and you're like, hey, man,
Right.
you want to make this happen? Or how's that work?
Well, well, they did ask us. They said, "Who would you like to have introduce you?" And basically announce the introduction, things like that. So we did. We thought of a few names, but Alice was definitely at the top of the list because, again, he's of the same genre. The heavy metal. I guess he's more shock rock, but from the same time zone, not time zone, but the same era. Like he started in the late '70s, and so did Judas Priest. He and Rob are friends, living in Phoenix and stuff. So it was an easy decision to make having him do it.
Oh, for sure. And I actually just saw Alice Cooper. He's on tour with Rob Zombie right now. I saw him a couple weeks ago in Salt Lake City, and he's still got it, man. He still puts on the show of shows.
And the dude does not stop touring. I mean, good Lord, we just saw him this summer because they were doing some festivals around the same time we were, but that was in Europe. Well, we took a month off. Sounds like he kept going. So good for him.
Well, it probably helps because he has his wife and daughter performing with him on stage every night. So the family
Yes.
dynamic up in there.
Yep. Yep. That's a good idea.
And speaking of shows, I mean, the reason we're talking today, man, Judas Priest, Mountain America Center in Idaho Falls on October 5th. We could not be more excited. And it seems like on this second leg of the Invincible Shield tour, you guys are going to be bringing out all the stops, giving the fans that classic Judas Priest show that everyone has, come to love.
Yes, that's what we hope to do. I can't remember the last time we played Idaho Falls, but it's probably been a while.
Yeah,
And
from my
somebody might,
understanding. Yeah, I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. I've lived here about 8 years now, but I've heard legends of Judas Priest coming to Idaho Falls. I don't know, maybe 20 or so years ago. Then you played a show here, in
wow.
between bigger cities. But we have a brand new arena for you
Yeah.
guys to blow the roof off, man. We're ready for it.
Well, we love the fact of hitting these cities that either we've never done, or in the case of Idaho Falls, maybe we haven't done in a very long time. That's always the object of Judas Priest is to go to places we've never been or places we haven't been to in a while. You're always going to have to play Dallas and New York and LA, things like that. But to go to some other places that you don't hit all the time is really fun.
Oh, for sure. And I was actually talking to Ian Hill yesterday, and he was saying that the crowd so far is responding really well to the Invincible Shield material.
Yeah, I think we're doing 3 songs off the new record, so we don't want to do too many to
Oh, sure.
oversaturate uh, the eardrums for people that aren't familiar with all the songs. But the 3 that we do, they go over really, really well, and that's the best you could hope for, man. And of course, with Priest, we have so many songs in the back catalog that you have to play. You only have but so many songs you can fit into an hour and 40, so
Yeah.
it's a good problem to have.
Exactly. I mean, you guys could easily do a 3 hour show and still have more material to play. But we don't
Yeah.
want you guys to work too hard. I mean, an hour and a half up on the stage, that's tough work, man, especially drumming that long.
Drumming and singing, and I don't know how Rob pulls it off, but he's a miracle man, and he's able to sing like that every night. So it's great.
Exactly. And if my research is correct, you're 6'6", right?
6'6" is funny you say this. I went to the doctor the other day. I haven't had an exam for a while. I think I'm about 6'5.5" now, but yeah, we'll call it 6'6".
Okay, okay,
Might
yeah,
be
we'll
shrinking,
round up. We'll round up, no issue. But I'm 6'3", so as a fellow, over 6 foot person, I feel your pain with some things. I'm a drummer a little bit, I just kind of drum in my basement. But one thing that I have found with drums is I typically have to put them on like risers in order to feel comfortable with my lanky limbs. Do you find the same
yeah.
problem?
What do you mean risers? What do you mean?
I mean, I guess I have like a cheap electronic drum set and I kind of have to, stack books on the bottom so it can go up high enough for me to comfortably drum.
Oh, so you mean you raise the drums higher when you say
Correct.
riser?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, it's one of those. I'm going to make fun of myself because people would comment when they'd see me post a picture on, especially if it was a picture from behind the drum set. I used to sit really low, and I did. And so over the years, I've kind of bumped up my seat a little bit, but I don't have any problems. I just, again, people that sit behind my kit, fellow drummers or friends or whatever, they it must be really odd for them because the cymbals and are way over here, Um, but no, I don't have any problems with it.
Okay, that's good. You figured out your setup. You're good to go. They make drums for tall guys.
That's right.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Now, people obviously know you for your work with Judas Priest, but Racer X, man, what's going on with you guys? Anything in the future, or is it kind of on hiatus?
Yeah, I just again did an interview before yourself, and the guy asked me the same thing, and I answered honestly, we don't have any plans. No one's really talked to each other. Everybody's in different parts of the country, and everybody seems to have their own projects going on. And so no, we don't have anything planned. That's the honest answer. It would be
Well,
fun, and I of course do it. I would do it tomorrow. And I've been saying it for years, but it takes everybody to be a participant to make it really to be Racer X. So
Well, you never know what the future holds, right? Keeping busy with Judas Priest. And speaking of which, I know you were involved with Richie Faulkner's Elegant Weapons for a time. You still doing stuff with them?
well, I did the first record, and then he did a small tour, I think in summer of I guess it was 23, and I did not participate in the touring, but I'm not sure, what we're going to do in the future. I mean, to be honest, I'm enjoying my life with Judas Priest, and when we have time off, I really cherish it. So just have to wait and see if it's. I don't know.
Before I let you go, I just have to bring up. I had a couple friends who went to the Power Trip Festival. What was that, last October? And obviously, that was the talk of the heavy metal world, man. I mean, what a huge lineup right there. And you guys, if I remember right, you actually replaced Ozzy on the bill. I mean, what was that show
Yeah.
like? Was there just a sea of people?
There was a lot of people, and again, when we got the offer to, like you said, to take Ozzy's spot, first thing we wanted to know was, who else is on the bill that night? Because there's only two bands every night,
Mhm.
and when they said AC/DC, we're like, oh my God, that's the best slot because
Best you
AC/DC,
could get.
the best you could get, and then they hadn't played live with Brian Johnson, and I think about. I don't remember the exact. It was a long time, maybe 7 or 8 years,
Yeah,
maybe
about
even
seven
longer. But it,
years.
it had been it had been a minute. So the fact that he was coming back into the fold made it extra special, and so we were just over the moon. The fact that it's in Southern California, and we either all, people either we either lived, some of us lived there, or we know exactly where it is and how to get there and all that. So it's an easy place to rehearse when you're in Southern California. It's a fun place to be. And the show was, I don't know the exact count, it must have been 80, 90,000 people, but
Wow.
it was it was a super great night. Again, it went by too fast, but it was killer weather, not too hot, not too cold. Obviously, that time of year was perfect out there in the desert, and it was great, man. I wish we could do more shows with them, especially.
Well, let's put it out in the universe. Judas Priest and AC/DC on tour. I mean, they just finished up their European leg. I'm assuming a US tour is in the works.
You would think so, yeah. And apparently, it was before I joined Priest, but they toured with AC/DC when they had Bon Scott back in the late 70s, like 79, something like that. So they've done it before, Judas Priest and AC/DC. So let's do it again.
Put it out into the universe, man. So I like to end every interview with obviously, we're a radio station. I like my guests to pick a song, and I'm going to play it on the radio right after this interview, whether it's Judas Priest, some Racer X stuff, whatever song you are feeling right now, I'm going to play it.
Man, you mentioned it at the beginning of the interview. We got to play the Painkiller, I guess.
Yes. Any specific track or the title track?
Just hit him between the eyes, man. Do the title track. Fuck it.
Let's do it, man. Scott Travis, thank you so much. Judas Priest coming to Mountain America Center October 5th. VIP packages and tickets available on judaspriest.com. You can get them on pickidaho.com as well. Anything else you want to say to the fans out there?
Just looking really, really forward to it. Like I said, if we've been there, it's been a long, long time since we have been there. So looking forward to it. Should be beautiful weather too, not too cold. It'd be great.
Enjoy some scenic views of Idaho Falls if you get the chance to get out of the arena.
Do some fishing, man. We'll do some fly fishing.
Oh, exactly. And I got a buddy who owns a barbecue restaurant, and he said he will feed you for free. So,
Oh, okay. Right on.
yep,
We like
Pitmaster
barbecue.
Barbecue. So hit him up. He'll feed you for free.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
thanks, Scott. You have a good one and happy birthday, my man.
Thank you very much. Thank you.